Okay. Whoop. Hello. Oh, I can't believe I'm filming this video in this car. What you in, Craig, today? Back in the GT3 RS? No, I'm not actually. How about the DB11 again? No, I'm not in a DB11. Oh, really? How about the Tesla Model S? 911? Cayman that you used to own? Yeah, no, we don't talk about the Cayman anymore either. Okay, so what you in? Well, I'm doing a video today on how you get access to really amazing supercars like I've been doing the last 6 months. And I'm in the Smart 44. Hello car friends and welcome. So today I'm going to be telling you about how to get cars. If you've been wondering over the last few months how I've been getting cars, and it's certainly the question that get asked most often, this is how you do it. Oh, it's such an awful car. I should call it the Smart 4 Poor, because those are the only people buying these things. So firstly, there's actually lots of different types of car YouTubers. So in the car vlogger type, if we're talking about the kind of lifestyle guys, they tend to own their cars. So that's quite a different thing altogether. They either had them on finance or they get given them sometimes from a brand for a long time. It's generally when they've built up quite a large subscription base and quite a large number of you guys following them, and they tend to basically go to car dealerships and try to see from those brands whether they can have a car in a long time or whether they can get the finance to be able to do it. Some of them get brand deals and that's how they pay for that kind of thing, but generally they own the car and they make a life by basically modifying those cars, changing the cars and doing whatever they can with the car that would be new and fresh and interesting to you guys. And the next type of vlogger, and these are the kind that I really know the most about and I can sort of relate to the most and give you the most information on in terms of how you could get started and you could do it yourself. These are the guys that review cars, that do stuff in cars, that each week I've got a different car. How the hell did I just go into a dealership and say, oh yeah, I want to take that car, I've got a Cayman, let's go. What tends to happen in that situation is it's normally driven by relationships. The car world is made up of lots of different people, from the manufacturers such as Ford, Mercedes, Aston Martin, etc., through to dealerships who have lots of fleets of cars, through to car enthusiasts, and then through to agencies as well. Now, agencies are basically the people that are employed by the car manufacturers to create people talking about those cars. So whilst you might have Ford, who've got their own team and they've got their own access to cars, you've also got an agency that's going to act on behalf of Ford, and they're going to basically manage the publicity and the awareness of them. And in those circumstances, they are thinking about bloggers. Ah, God, this car is awful. It's probably called the Smart 44 because that's the amount of brake horsepower it's got. 1 horse per person. Let's take for a minute those two scenarios. So ignore the agencies for now and ignore the sort of other people that might have cars, such as friends, family members, enthusiasts, that kind of thing. The two pieces where I'd focus if I was a car YouTuber, I wanted to be a car YouTuber, was to go for the brands, to try and find out who works for those brands, and really you want to look for people in the PR department or in the social media department. They're the people that really are going to want you to be talking about those cars and are really going to want to have access. So whilst there might be a lot of design engineers, there might be a lot of people that work in the sales teams, typically they're not going to have access for you for the type of car that you're going to want and for the insurance that you might need to be able to go out and make a YouTube video. If you don't go to the manufacturers, where else can you go? Well, you've got to go to dealerships, and dealerships are the kind of people who have lots of cars in their fleet. They're trying to sell them and they're typically a lot closer to the end customer, and it's typically where you would go to walk up to buy a car if you're going to be getting one from your local area. Those guys have cars that you can use as well, and again it's about relationships. So who can you hunt out there that will be able to help you? Oh, come on, you're in a Honda, not an Arctic. Personally, I have 3 ways in which I get access to cars. One is I tend to know a lot of the PR contacts at the manufacturers. So luckily for me, I've had quite a good career in the past. I've got quite a good network base to work from, and I can actually go to those manufacturers and say, can you lend me a car so I can create content in? Secondly, I get asked to come to do stuff. So the other week I went to the Financial Times, to the Future of the Car Summit, because I like to talk about the future of driving, and someone at that event came to me and was like, hey, you focus on the future of driving, I'd like for you to drive our new electric car that we've got in development at the moment. Thirdly, and this one is the most interesting one, I've recently set up a collective. Essentially it's about 10 to 12 of us, all of which have got their own channels, and we all go together and we all ask for a car as one. Whilst you might have Alloys Weekly or Bob's Clutch magazine, I don't know whether I subscribe to that actually, I don't know how Bob's Clutch is. Anyway, whilst you might have those magazines, Autocar, What Car, Evo magazines, they might get lent a car for like 6 months, 8 months, 2 weeks, who knows. As a collective, we just say, well, really, we want a few cars that we can just borrow for a weekend. We'll all film in them. We'll all create a video for the manufacturer, and because we've got like 4 million views across all of us in a month, we can actually get quite a good level of viewership, and actually that's sort of, as a manufacturer, what you want. Slow down. No one wants to die in a Smart 4. So finally, if you want to be a car YouTuber, or you are looking at vlogging and you want to have access to cars, how would you go about doing it? The advice I'd give you is, first, think about what kind of content you want to make. I tend to like to focus on anything that's electric, anything that's really new and just coming out, and then anything that's sort of sports car, supercar type of content, because that's really the stuff that appeals to me. You might have a different interest. You might want to focus on family cars, you might want to focus on tuned cars, you might want to focus on motorbikes, I don't know, but like, you got to really have an idea for what you want to talk about, because firstly, your audience are going to want to know that, and secondly, it helps the manufacturers or the agencies or the networks really buy into what your story is and what angle you're trying to go for. It really helps. That's the first step. There are some issues that aren't the manufacturer's fault, that aren't anyone else's fault, and that's essentially down to age. When you take a car out, some manufacturers and some dealerships will have a policy that will just cover anyone to drive. As long as you've got a full driving license, it's really okay. Normally, and this is typically the case, 21 and upwards is sort of the age to be allowed to drive cars at. Really, that's not your fault, and it's just because the industry, especially the insurance industry, and to some extent some of the manufacturers, haven't really woken up to the internet yet. It's like it hasn't happened. They haven't really adjusted some of their policies to make it work. After that, 25 is sort of the age range that you start to get around sports cars and supercars. After that, you get 28, and I actually heard a rumour the other day that if you want something like a Nissan GTR, you probably got to be around 30 to get hold of it. I'm driving on country roads. So how do you actually get hold of the cars? Well, my recommendation would be either get in touch with a collective. I think we're the only one at the moment, but hopefully more pop up, because we want the internet and automotive and car vlogging to be the next thing. Secondly, work out where those press contacts are. If you can find somehow an email address, if you can find their agency, if you can even go down to your local network dealership and get in touch with someone there that gets the internet, it means they don't have to pay for a promotional video. Go and speak to them, get in front of them, make noise, make them know that you're there and that you want to be creating this content and that's the way you want to do it. They will come round to it. It's the internet is happening, and literally just say, this is my audience, this is what I want to do with the car, this is how long I need it for, can you help me? I'm pretty sure that if you had enough determination and you could really put your case across well, you'd get a car. You wouldn't struggle. This car is the squeakiest, I don't want to say worst made, because we've all spoken about the fact that you need relationships, but I said it. So that's it. Hopefully that's been useful. That's how I get cars. I basically have a lot of contacts. I'm really lucky to know some of the people that work at those car brands, and they really understand the internet. I'm really lucky to have had a good career, which means that I sort of get where they're coming from and they understand what's in it for them. And I've set up a collective, which means that other car bloggers can join, and then we all get access to those cars, and then the manufacturers all get those views. So there's a few ways there. You're going to get knockbacks, you're going to get people that will say that you can't do it, but really that's how they do it. If you are a new YouTuber, or you're an aspiring YouTuber, or you're growing, let me know in the comments. I'll have a look. If you're in the UK, let me know, because it might be that we have a spare slot on one of our creator events when we do stuff as a collective. If you want to get into it, you want to see more videos like this, again, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Next week I will be with Abarth. Subscribe if you haven't done, and I will see you next week. Something inside so strong. Something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong. I'm that guy now. Brothers and sisters.